Hey guys, Anders here, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're talking about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and I've been trying to be a little more positive regarding 2042. Like, obviously, I've acknowledged, the great progress they've made with the game over the past, 8 to 9 months, but there's still that lurking thought in the background, that lurking reality even in the background, that a lot of the stuff that they're doing really doesn't matter for a particular problem in the game. And that problem is how frustrating 2042 is as a video game. Over the course of Battlefield 2042 being out, there have been 3 seasons, and the 4th one is going to be released, I think as of this video, tomorrow. And with these new seasons, they obviously add a bunch of new things, new maps, new map reworks, they fix some bugs, and that's all great, right? Good. But a point I want to make is a lot of the stuff that they've added with these seasons have only increased the irritation factor of Battlefield 2042, which was already by default one of the most frustrating Battlefield games to play ever released. I'm going to be covering a lot of separate stuff in this video. I'm going to try to do it in a timely fashion. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and of course subscribe to the channel. Let's just get right into it. Let's talk about Battlefield 2042 as a base game first. The title of this video is something along the lines of Battlefield 2042 has an unfixable problem that only gets worse, and that unfixable problem is the level of frustration this game presents just by playing it. And I'm sure we all remember 2042 when it released. The game was nigh unplayable, absolutely the most frustrating the game has been. I'm not saying the game is more frustrating than release, it's obviously gotten better. I don't really think you can beat the frustration levels on release with the 30mm bolts killing you from across the map and the game running at 50 FPS and a whole slew of other things. But from a baseline perspective, the level of frustration experienced in 2042 is definitely the highest I've ever seen. Just the maps, the way they played, the dynamics of the gunplay. You take damage from farther ranges than ever, more consistently than ever. It seems people are more unaware than ever because of the map design. It's very difficult to know where you're getting shot from. Very difficult to know where, what area is safe, where to go. The verticality is more numerous than ever. Manifest is a great example of that. There can be people on, I think 5 to 6 different levels of height on Manifest, and good luck accurately predicting that 24/7. And then we get to them adding new content. Now, obviously, not all the content compounds the frustration levels in Battlefield 2042, but some of it does, and I think it's really overlooked. Great example is in Season 2, they added Liss to the game. Liss has an unlimited ammo TV missile, which is a fundamentally unbalanced way of implementing a TV missile, particularly when you give it to an infantry unit, and it was just a new frustration for vehicle players that they had to deal with. Yes, Liss has obviously seen a bunch of nerfs and buffs and changes and all this stuff, but fundamentally, as a concept, it's just pretty frustrating, right? I was playing in a tank today, and there were 5 Lisses on the enemy team. I mean, I could APS 2 of those rockets, but there's 3 more coming, right? And I can't even necessarily hide in cover, because if they're smart, they'll just shoot the missile right in the air and then come down on me top down, and there's literally nothing I can do about it. So that's a great example of added frustration. Another great example of added frustration is Zane, for instance. Remember that cover in Battlefield 2042? Or the lack thereof, I should say. Remember how some of it was safe to hide behind? Not anymore, because Zane is in the game, and you better be playing Irish with APS 24/7, or else you'll die behind cover now, from 100 meters away to spammy, skillless, talentless airburst. And sometimes the things that compound the frustration in Battlefield 2042 aren't even necessarily content that's added. Sometimes it's changes being made to the game. Remember when they added Q-spotting to the game, which was a feature in, Battlefield 3, 4, and 1? You were already spotted pretty much all the time in Battlefield 2042 just because of the nature of the game, with the Casper drones and the sentry grenades and the fact that you're spotted on the minimap if you shoot without a suppressor, but now you're spotted in yet another way, which just makes it almost impossible to keep yourself off of the radar, and makes it even more impossible to go on long flanks and complicated routes that may put you in an advantageous position. Another great example of a very frustrating change that really compounds the frustration of Battlefield 2042 is actually a change that happened within the class system. Now, this change is being rectified, I believe, tomorrow in the Season 4 update, but it doesn't change the fact that it did happen. The change I'm referring to was in update 3.2, and it was the assault class being reduced to only having one med pen, and this frustrated a lot of people because more often than not, you will spawn and use that med pen within a couple seconds because of the instantaneous damage and just chip damage you take simply by spawning in Battlefield 2042 or trying to get somewhere in Battlefield 2042. This is obviously being rectified, like I said. As of tomorrow, the 28th, the assault class will have 2 med pens, which in my opinion is a little better. Obviously, you don't want to make the assault class a medic class, but you get my point. You just take a lot of chip damage in Battlefield 2042. And on top of that, they nerfed the health regeneration. So when you get shot at in Battlefield 2042, and say you burn your med pen playing Assault, and then you get shot again down to critical HP, you have to sit there for even longer to try to regenerate health. And the health regeneration nerf that they actually implemented does not match the pace of Battlefield 2042. You take damage very quickly in 2042. You should regenerate health at a moderate level to match the pace of the game, and they sort of ruined it in that last update, and it's very frustrating. In my opinion, it also throws the game balance off a little bit as well, because why would you not play Falc now? Falc essentially has 12 med pens. Think about it. Why would you not play Falc? And then some very recent examples of things that are going to compound the frustration levels in Battlefield 2042 are just the really irritating ranged explosive damage that just seems to be getting added to Battlefield 2042. For instance, in Season 4, they're adding a sticky grenade launcher that can stick to infantry. And yes, you can kill people from great distance with it. And all I can think about when I see things like this being added to the game is the fact that I'm somehow going to have to try to avoid all of this stuff and then some whenever they add something like this. And I'm not sure how widespread it will be, but the point is it a fun addition to the game when you already have stuff like hyper-fast recoilless rifles, grenade launchers on every single weapon, Zane airburst, transport vehicle 30mm cannons camping in the back of the map, 50mm cannons camping in the back of the map, 40mm grenade launchers on the Super Hind. You get the point, right? And the overarching point in this video is, the more stuff they add to Battlefield 2042, the more frustrating the game will become. And I think that is very evident just with the seasons we've gotten so far. I think it'll only get worse with the seasons coming, and we'll just have to see what kind of place 2042 is in when this is all said and done. With that being said, you could definitely add these sorts of things and make the game less frustrating by properly balancing and actually designing some of these things. For instance, Zane's airburst should not have a 100-meter range. That is, in my opinion, absolutely crazy. It should have a range of 50 meters max. I think it's a little too applicable right now, and it's definitely too easy to hit. I could probably make this video 15-20 minutes long just talking about all these little separate things, but I'm not going to bore you with that. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section down below in this video for sure. Thank you so much for hitting 40,100 subs. I think almost 40,200 subs. You guys are crazy. Thank you so much for all the support. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. First link in the description. Drop my channel a follow, and I will see you guys later.